Tell me a story. In any language you want.
It's about journeys. The journeys we take to prove ourselves. It's about adventures.
We should form a club, a brotherhood. We change the world.
It's about magic beyond anything anyone has ever felt before. What it means to love. To be loved.
First of all, wow, what a role to take on.
Thanks. Yeah, it was fun.
How did you instantly, it seems like, connected with Nick? Was it instant? Or?
Yeah, we've known each other socially for a few years now. Never obviously worked together, but always in kind of the similar situations and circles of friends. But I've also just heard nothing but amazing things about him throughout the years. So when I knew that he was attached to this, it seemed like the perfect opportunity to finally work together. And it's impossible not to get along with him. He's lovely. He's so giving as a scene partner. He's so smart, very present. So it just felt very natural.
Now, with this character, I feel like this is a person we don't really know. How much did you know about her going in?
I didn't. I wasn't aware of Edith and her relationship to Tolkien and what she inspired. And there's unfortunately very little research that you can really do on her. There's some photos that I found. Dome is a encyclopedia of this information now. So he had done a deep dive. I had done a deep dive. We kind of compared notes, and it was very similar and very far and few between facts on her. But the photos that I did see of her alone or her with Tolkien were always quite cheeky in a sense. Very poised, but there was kind of a spark and a light behind her eyes that was rare for a woman of that time to kind of, I think, show, at least in a photo.
For sure.
And so I just associated with her right away, going, oh, okay, she's in on it. Whatever it is, she knows. There's something else about her that is quite cheeky and magical. And knowing the characters that she inspired and the story as we know them so well, kind of distilling some of those characteristics into a person was what I was left trying to do, because we didn't have footage of her. We didn't have interviews, or obviously, and very little was known. So trying to create something out of the stories.
Oh, you did. You certainly did.
Thank you.
I feel like watching it and watching her, it was easy to find that kind of connection with whether it's Lord of the Rings or one of his other stories. How much did you go into those books and find the character through that?
Well, their love story inspired the Beren and Luthien story, and having been a fan of the movies and the books since I was little, I've always loved fantasy and magic. I just feel like those movies were so much a part of me growing up.
Yeah.
Growing up in the English countryside as well felt very, very similar to the world that Tolkien lived in, as well as a lot of the aesthetic of those movies. And so also just being English, it just felt like there was something in there that was innately Edith, and just being in these costumes and hair and makeup and seeing the visuals of our movie that Dome wanted to create, but also the books. It just felt right. I don't know. It just felt very natural.
Well, how much do you feel that you shared with the character you created, like personally?
I'm very passionate about what I believe in. I feel like Edith is a someone that for Tolkien saw the big picture for him, and she saw a way there, and even when he didn't, she encouraged it. And I feel like I'm like that with my friends. And they are with me. We see the potential and what we can attain and what they can attain, and I try to help encourage them to get there. And so just her being this very solid within herself, but also not afraid to be youthful and cheeky and playful. I loved that about her, and I feel like I could associate with that too.
The whole scene where you guys are at the theater.
Oh, yeah.
Oh my God, what a beautiful scene.
That was fun.
Have you ever done anything like that?
Well, definitely when I was little playing dress up. Not in a while, but I mean, I guess I play dress up every time I'm on a set, right?
Right?
So
yeah, exactly.
in a way.
Exactly. Well, what are you taking from this? What you now know about Tolkien? Has it changed the way you look at his work?
It definitely has been a really interesting reintroduction to the stories and then, the movies, because you get these little Easter egg facts that you're like, oh, remember that time with him and his friends and he spoke about this, and I didn't know about the Brotherhood, and I didn't know about Edith and his relationship and his experience in war. I mean, I think it really allows us to have a different level of respect for the stories because you know where they came from and the immense talent that one must have to create a language. I mean, the skill and the intellect that one must have, as well as the imagination. Sometimes someone who would come up with a language may not be able to also come up with the imagery, and he came up with both, and it's so incredible. So to be able to know the backstory, I think, allows you to appreciate it that much more.
The way you follow the rhythms of language, I have to tell you, Mr. Tolkien, I've never come across anything like it.
This is more than just a friendship. It's an alliance. An invincible alliance.
A fellowship.